Hey y'all, Slick here. I've been getting a lot of phone calls, messages, texts regarding the tournament. Uh, Excuse the background, I'm at my desk. I'm not fishing today, catching up on some work. So with the tournament, it is a one fishing day event. You pick your day either Friday or Saturday. In order to register for the event, you have to be there on Thursday night before the tournament. We have a tournament in Holden Beach this month, the last weekend of this month. We have one at Big Rock Landing in Morehead City, the end of April. And we have our championship in September at Chase and Tails. I couldn't get Big Rock Landing for the championship for weigh-in because of the seafood festival. They're closed. That whole street's closed. So the main questions that I'm getting are the discrepancies between the regular entry fees and the series entry fee. So this is how it works. Every single leg event can be fished no matter if you're in the series or not. And the main entry is $500, and then there's the Calcuttas. Now, a percentage of those entry fee monies go to the series championship in September for all of the series participating teams. The series entry is $1,500. That covers your team for the series. That is $1,500 on top of the main event entry fee, which is $500. So if you only entered the series, it's $1,500, and then you fished every single event and only entered the main, that'd be $500 per event. So you'd be at a total of $3,000. In our opinion, and all the research we've done, that is extremely cheap to be fishing a series. There is no pre-registration online. You can RSVP. The way you RSVP is go to my X-Rated Fishing website. It's www.xratedfishing.com. X-Rated is spelled X-R-A-Y-T-E-D, as in X-rated, because my wife is in radiology, or mammography actually. Xratedfishing.com. You click on the events tab. The Holden Beach Marina one will come up right now because it's live. You can RSVP there to hold your spot. You have to be present on Thursday for registration, or not you, but somebody from your team has to be present because they have to fill out all the information on the papers. I need it signed in person. It can't be electronically done. It has to be signed in person. That's the way our insurance policies work. And there's a reading of the rules, the captain's rules, and we had a little bit of discrepancy in the September tournament that caused some disqualifications that we do not want to happen again. So we're trying to avoid everything. We want everybody as crystal clear as possible. We actually had some teams that caught some wahoos who didn't know that the card in the bucket was supposed to be used to take a photo with your fish, and luckily their fish were small. They didn't really lose a lot of money or anything like that. It wasn't that, but they wouldn't have won any money anyways, what I'm saying. But nobody from their team was present at the captain's meeting when we were reading the rules. So that's why we need at least one team member present. You can call in Thursday and pay over the phone, which we can do credit card. You can do Venmo, cash, or check. And with a credit card, they add like a I think it's, last time I checked, it was 3.91 or 3.94%. So that fee is going to be added on top of the entry fees or whatever that you're paying for, whether it be the main and some Calcuttas or whatever. So just a heads up on that. If you're paying with credit card, yes, we do accept credit card, but there's going to be that I think it's 4% is what we've rounded it to. So because it changes, it goes from 3.9 to sometimes 4.2. So we've pretty much narrowed it down to 4%. What else? Friday and Saturday are fishing days. You only get to pick one day to fish. You can pick Friday or you can pick Saturday. And we have to know at 8:30 the night before. 8:30, not 8:31, not 8:32. It's 8:30 p.m. the night before your fishing day. We have to know if you're fishing that day. If you do not tell us you're fishing the next day, then to us, that's your lay day. That's it, or vice versa. That's your fishing day. If you don't let us know that you're not fishing Friday, that you're going to fish Saturday instead. If you don't let us know that by 8:30 on Thursday night, Then Friday, we assume you're fishing, and that's going to be your fishing day. What else? So the way the series works, the $1,500 to enter the series is, like I said, a percentage of the main entry fees and Calcuttas and stuff will be set aside and will be dedicated to the prize money for the series championship. The only way to be eligible to win that money is if you're in the series. You have to be a registered team in the series. And that's the point system is on our social media, on the Wahoo Tournament Series social media. There's it's like 350 points for first place, 250 for second, 150 for third, and then 100 points if you win a Calcutta. So you actually get some points if you win a Calcutta, which is cool. And then your fish, you get a point for every pound. So with that being said, it is 100% possible that you could fish one event and win the series championship with 2 huge fish, because you get first place points, 350. Then you get a Calcutta. If you win a Calcutta with big fish, I'm assuming you're going to win one if you get that. And then you get a point for every pound of fish that you have. So, I mean, you could very possibly win the series championship by only fishing one tournament. Do I recommend it? No. I would definitely fish all 3 if it was me. I can't fish it. I've decided not to fish this tournament. I think it's bad. No offense to anybody else who fishes their own tournaments. I don't like it. I would rather be back. There's just too much room for discrepancy there. I'd rather be back at the scales and being the front man for everybody instead of out there trying to win my own tournament. Let's see, what else? Sunday will be awards dinners, or lunches rather. The Holden Beach Awards lunch is going to be held at Smacknally's right there at Holden Beach. It's right up the street from Holden Beach Marina. It's like a mile or 2 maybe up the road. That'll be held at 11:30 at Smacknally's. They've jumped on board to sponsor and help us out and provide us a venue, and can't thank them enough. And CFS Diesel is a huge, man. CFS Truck and Diesel is a huge part of this tournament. They have really, those guys are backing me 100%, because we have a board and we have a committee and all that, and we vote on stuff, but I'm pretty much out here. I got a couple of guys that are hounding them, nose to the ground pretty hard, but I feel like I'm kind of doing this solo just because it's so much. What else? So you register on Thursdays. Fishing days are Friday or Saturday. Fishing days, Friday or Saturday. If there's a small craft advisory for one day and not the other, we're still fishing. That is a crucial part of the Thursday night registration. The smaller boat guys, and trust me, I've been there. We used to fish king mackerel tournaments on freaking 18-foot Key West, and we had absolutely no business being out there on some of those days, but we went anyway because we thought we were going to win some money, and of course we didn't win any money. So that Thursday night registration is crucial, because we don't want you paying now and doing it over the website, and then in 3 weeks we have terrible weather and we have a small craft advisory on Friday and Saturday, and we can't fish, and we have to postpone to the next weekend, and you want your money back because you can't fish. That's why it's Thursday night before the tournament. We're not doing any pre-registration. Further on down the road, when this thing grows and gets bigger, we'll be able to do that, but right now we just can't. I don't have the manpower to do it. So if there's a small craft advisory on one day or the other, we're still fishing. If there's a small craft advisory on both fishing days, then we will postpone that tournament for that weekend. We will postpone it to the next weekend. Now, with Big Rock being in April, if that happens at Big Rock, we cannot use Big Rock Landing the following weekend because it's already booked up. So what we will do is we will resort back and going to chasing tails and having everybody just bring their boat or bring their fish in by vehicle. We'll have cards again this year to weigh, hold in front of your fish. You have to have the card in front of the fish with water, with your boat and water in the background, period. And your photo has to be time and date stamped. You cannot take a picture of a fish in a fish box with a card laying on top of it. That will not pass this year. It's not going to happen. That's part of the stuff that went on in September that we had some disagreements on, to say the least. What else? As far as registering for the series, so you're registering your team. So say your team, I don't know, Team Chasing Tails, right? So Team Chasing Tails is registered as Team Chasing Tails. And then when you go to fish your event, you'll have your team name, boat name square that you'll fill out. So say you have a boat in Morehead City or Atlantic Beach area, and you want to fish your boat on that event, but your buddy has a boat down in Wilmington and you want to fish the Holden Beach tournament on his boat. That's fine. You're fishing under a team name. Where the registration is on Thursday nights, that's where that decides what boat you're on. Now, you're still a team. You'll be awarded as a team, like Team Wired Assets. Wired Assets is a Wahoo. They slay the Wahoo. I was just talking with Matt. He's a team leader. Will White is one of his guys, and Kyle. They're an awesome team, and they're huge supporters of this tournament as well. So they have a 35-foot contender, and then they also have like Will has a 35-foot contender, and then Matt does, and then Will has a lures, sport fisher. He's got a pad finder, so they have multiple boats they can fish. Like if one was to break down, they can fish. So I'm sorry for getting off on a tangent or babbling. You register as a team for the Wahoo series, for the Wahoo Tournament series, the $1,500 series. You can fish any boat you want to during the tournament. You just have to register your boat for that said event, which keeps it super simple. Makes it fair for everybody because, my boats break down. Everybody's boats break down. It happens. What else? I think that's it. If you have any questions, let me know. This has been it's a lot of work. It is a lot of freaking work, but we're there. There's going to be some hats at the events for purchase. There's going to be shirts. Of course, I think when you go all in, you get 2 shirts or something. I can't remember. It's all in my book there somewhere. But we'll also have shirts for sale for what we have left over. And we're going to have vendors there. We're going to have lure vendors, tackle vendors. Strike Point Tackle is going to be there. I'm sure Gore's offshore. I'm sure Jason's going to be there. He's super busy this time of the year, so. But I'm sure he'll try to make it. We got some more people coming. CFS Truck and Diesel is going to be there. Be sure to holler at them. They're the only ones that touch my trucks. I have a LML and a L5P, and they're the only ones that touch them. Even my wife's vehicle, it's a gasser. They're the only ones that touch it. I think that's it. I wanted to get on here and just let everybody know that's how it's working. The series is kind of a step up, a level up, if you will. It's for the more serious guys, or not more serious, because I know we all take it serious, but it's for the guys who are actually like, this is our thing. You know what I mean? We fish competitively, because there are some super competitive guys out there. There is no live bait again this year. There's not going to be live bait this year. Our plan next year is to have a 4-event series, and I'll get more into that as it gets closer to being a closed down deal. But right now we're about 90% there on doing a north leg up way up the beach. And the live bait thing, back to that, we voted on it, and every single meeting we have this comes up, but we cannot do live bait. We would have to lie detector test, polygraph test every single person that fishes, because live bait guys, that's a different craft, but it's too difficult for us to set boundaries and be sure that nobody crosses those boundaries. You can't really say, well, you can live bait fish, but our boundaries are 150 foot of water or deeper. And you can't do that, because some guys high speed in less than that. Some guys high speed in 60 feet of water or 80 feet of water. But that's also the water that king mackerel fishermen are fishing in. And we all know a king mackerel guy who's been out there pulling shad or pulling bluefish and has caught an 80 pound, 90 pound, 100 pound wahoo. It happens. And nothing against the king mackerel guys. That is a completely different animal. That fishery is a completely different, like, those are the most serious fishing dudes there are on this planet. We just don't think it's fair for us wahoo guys to be putting all this time and effort into a strictly wahoo tournament, and somebody's out there fishing a kingfishing tournament or something, and live baiting for king mackerels, and catches a wahoo, and his rich uncle gave him $500 to enter the tournament, and he walks home with all the money. It's not fair. Just the easiest way to do it and make it fair for everybody is to no live bait, no electric reels with hooks. No electric reels with hooks. So you can use an electric reel, like you can use an LP or hooker or whatever, excuse me, for dredges and teasers and anything like that. But you cannot have an electric reel hooked to any line with a hook on it, or connected to any line with a hook on it. Back to the live bait, which that makes me, I got to make sure I mention this. Say you were to catch a false albacore on a ballyhoo rigged with an islander, or a Gores offshore, or a short rigger sea witch, or American custom tackle high-speed lure. And then that false albacore gets eaten by a wahoo. Technically, that fish is disqualified because that false albacore was alive when the wahoo ate it. There's no way we can prove otherwise. So that will automatically disqualify your fish. For the winning fish, if you look down at the bottom of the rules down there, it says that the tournament has the right to retain any fish that are placed. So what we've decided to do is the first fish that comes in over 50 pounds is automatically $1,500. You automatically win $1,500. Whenever you submit that or weigh that fish, if you accept the $1,500 prize, you have to forfeit that fish to the tournament. There's a good reason for that, though. The same thing with the fish that place. So if you place first with a 2-fish aggregate, you've got 2 fish there, or you place second, or you place third. The tournament is going to keep the smallest of the 2 fish. So you get to keep your biggest one. So if you catch a 30-pounder and a 75-pounder, the tournament is going to take possession of the 30-pounder. You get to keep the big one. Or if you don't want a big one, you want to keep the little one, it's whatever you want to do. But we've planned on on paper, we're going to take the smaller fish of the 2. The reason we're doing that is we're taking the 3 places, first, second, and third, the smallest of the 2 fish for each first, second, and third, and then we're taking the first fish over 50, and we're using that fish for the cookout or the luncheon on Sundays. Holden Beach Marina is going to, the Holden Beach tournament, excuse me, is going to be at Smacknally's. Smacknally's is going to cook us a bunch of sides. We're going to have the restaurant, like half the restaurant to ourselves. We'll be awarding checks and doing all that. It's like the award ceremonies, and they're going to cook the wahoo for us. So that helps us save cost instead of having to pay a taco truck or some kind of food truck, or pay somebody like to cater this event. We're actually catering it ourselves technically. You know what I'm saying? It saves everybody money, keeps more money going back to you guys as fishermen. And the one in Atlantic Beach, the one in April and the one in September, we actually do the award ceremonies at Full Moon Oyster Bar, and they do the same thing. They provide sides, and you can buy drinks. We don't provide any alcohol at all. The tournament does not. There's no open bar or nothing like that. We're not at that point yet. I cannot afford that right now. Once we get there, that's a possibility in the future. But right now, let's know if you want cocktails for lunch or whatever, then while we're at the award ceremony, then you can buy them yourself. You can purchase them right there at the restaurant. But as far as the food goes and what you're eating, the water's free and the food is free. I think that is it. This is a lot. Like I said 100,000 times, it's a lot, but it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. We finally got us a Wahoo tournament series that I think it's going to be fun to fish. Like I said, we're fishing like gentlemen, cigars and whiskey, catching wahoos, hanging them on scales, taking pictures, having a blast. This thing is only going to grow. It's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm excited for it. It looks really good. We have a lot in the pipeline that we're working on. So thank you. If you're being a part of it, thank you so much. Don't forget you can RSVP for any event. The Atlantic Beach one should be live like the week following the Holden Beach tournament. The Atlantic Beach, Morehead City, Big Rock Landing tournament will be live on the website where you can RSVP there. That's all I got. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your patience. Appreciate everybody's support. This is going to be a blast. Like I said, Love you guys. We hope to see you at registration and at the scales. Cheers.